Hello, my name is Melvin Bolos and I am from BSCE1C. This video presentation is for the physics subject. Elastic collision. Two balls with the same mass move toward each other with the positive x-axis to the right, assuming no friction and the collision between the two is perfectly elastic. Determine the velocities of the balls after the collision. The initial velocities of the ball are positive 30 centimeter per second, then negative 20 cm per second. So dito gagamit tayo ng conservation of momentum and then conservation of kinetic energy. So una gamitin muna natin yung conservation of momentum na P is equal to P initial is equal to P final. Dahil nga same mass, pwede na natin i-disregard yung mass. Pwede na natin i-cancel plus mass B velocity V is equal to the mass A velocity A final mass B velocity B final. Pwede na natin i-remove yung mass dahil nga same mass lang sila. Remove. Ang matitira na lang is velocity A plus velocity B is equal to the velocity A final plus velocity B final. So, ang given lang sa atin is yung mga initial velocity. Pinapahanap sa atin yung final velocity ng dalawa. So, i-substitute na lang muna natin 30 cm plus negative 20 cm is equal to the velocity A final plus velocity B final. So, velocity A final plus velocity B final is equal to 10 cm per second. Itabi muna natin tong isang equation na to na 10 cm per second is equal to velocity A final plus velocity B final. So, sunod gamitin naman natin yung kinetic energy, conservation of kinetic energy na Ke initial is equal to Ke final. Same lang din dito na pwede nating i-cancel yung mass sa formula na 1/2 meter mass A VA square plus 1/2 mass B velocity V square is equal to 1/2 mass A velocity A final square plus 1/2 mass B velocity V final is square. So, pwede na natin dito i-remove yung 1/2 and then yung mass dahil nga same lang sila ng mga value. Matitira na lang is velocity square plus velocity V square is equal to velocity A final square plus velocity V final square. Then sunod, ilipat lang natin. Pagpalitin lang natin sila, pagsamahin natin yung parehong initial, parehong A at B. A, magiging negative na to. Square final is equal to the velocity V final square minus initial velocity B square. Then, ito, pwede nating if mag-factor dahil nga square sila pareho. Pwede natin silang i-factor. Magiging BA plus velocity A final multiplied by velocity A minus velocity B final is equal to, ganun din dito, velocity V final plus velocity B times velocity B final minus velocity B. So, ito yung isa nating equation. Pwede natin gamitin yung naunang equation na ipang-divide dito. So, divide lang natin sila. Ito, pagpalitin natin yung magkabila para magkaroon tayo ng kamukha dito sa kabila. So, ginawa natin yan, magiging velocity A minus velocity A final is equal to velocity B final minus velocity B. Pwede natin i-cancel to at ito, at ito. Then, ang natira na lang is equal to velocity A plus velocity A final, velocity B plus velocity B final. Then, ibalik na natin sila sa dati na velocity A plus velocity B minus na to. Minus velocity B is equal to velocity B final minus velocity A final. Then, ito. Substitute ulit natin yung mga given value na initial. So, 30 cm per second minus negative 20 cm per second is equal to velocity B final minus velocity B initial. So, 50 cm per second is equal to velocity V final minus velocity A initial. Meron na tayong second equation na 50 cm per second is equal to velocity V final minus velocity A final. So, gamitin natin yung linear equation sa algebra. Pag-add lang natin to, then we get 60 cm per second is equal to, remove yung velocity A final kasi nga positive plus negative. Then, 2 velocity V final. So, ang hinahanap natin na yung velocity V final. Velocity V final is equal to 30 cm per second. So, ito na yung velocity, final velocity ng object 2 natin. Then, for the object 1 naman, gumamit lang tayo ng isang equation dito. Then is equal to BA final plus B na 30. Then B velocity of A final is equal to negative 20. cm per second. So, ito na yung final velocity ng object 1 natin after the collision.